We are.
It's episode 151 of the Holdback Right podcast. Lori's here. Gray is Roger's getting naked, I guess, in the back.
Yeah.
Very cool.
In a different room. He'll come back fully clothed, I promise.
Yeah, thank you. We love that. Sorry, I made it weird. Reptilia.com for all of your testing needs, not shed testing. Testing. Use code Shit Happens for $5 off the crypto panel. Reptilia.com. It looks good.
All right.
Shane Kelley, Small Town Exotics. Hoggies are hatching. He's getting ready for the Charlotte AARPE in October. And if you want to watch him getting a little sassy on the last member live, that was last Sunday. So you'd have to become a member. You hit the join button for $3 a month and you get the behind the scenes raw dog in it. Small Town Exotics. There's money. I don't know what chat's talking about. We'll get to them. Eileen's here in the chat. What's up, Eileen? Bravo Zulu Ball Pythons, our veteran woman breeder. We love that. She has some 2022 bongo combos and 2023 puzzle project animals. Rocking and rolling. I don't know if they're on Morph Market. Are they on Morph Market? Didn't check. Message Eileen, please. Thank you. Bravo Zulu Ball Pythons. Justin Brill. I don't know what he's doing with that beard. He's just living his best life. He's had his first clutch of the year. He's mostly into Clown Pied. He's a Pacific Northwest guy. I'm pretty sure he's going to Pack Noirs, but I don't actually know technically. I would assume he was. July 13th to 14th. Who else is going there? Andrew from Powerhouse Pythons. Ball Pythons, Leopard Geckos, Rodents, Gopher Cocoa, other fun stuff. He'll have lots of it. Pack Noirs, July 13th to 14th. Andrew, thank you for sponsoring. Chris Sabina's Reptilia, all kinds of stuff. Just too much stuff. More stuff than anybody rationally knows what to do with. Hopefully, you're interested in some of it. I'm interested in more Depejani. Mine have been really coloring up, and I haven't taken any pictures, so that's make me a bad person. And mine came from Chris, so check him out. Chris Sabina's Reptilia. And last but not least, Great Family Snakes. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Very good.
Enjoying the heat in Alabama.
And humidity?
And humidity.
Oh, yeah.
The ball pythons love it. They were right at home when we were outside the other day doing a show. For the kids.
Yeah. They sort of, have you ever noticed the ball pythons, if the humidity is on point, they almost don't drink that much water. It's like they soak it up. What do you think about that theory?
I think it's interesting how much water is still in their cups when we change them out after several days. It always surprises me. You can get just a little bit of water, it's still there. I don't know how much they drink.
Yeah, they definitely do drink because I've seen them drink. I assume they're floating around in a burrow in Africa, and the burrow is basically really humid, and they're like really hot and humid. And there's like, I can drink water when I want to, but I don't necessarily have to go be exposed to predators to go get it. I feel like they have that capacity. What do you think of that theory?
We've been trying out different cups and stuff. This is what we usually use. Most people use this stuff. We were trying something that's dishwasher safe because I'm tired of these leaking when I try to wash them in the dishwasher. And I'm up for ideas, but when we try the things that are really small, they get a bunch of trash in them, but the water's still there. So it's gotta. I don't know. I know they're getting water out of it, but not too much.
Have you noticed that the 8-ounce ones tend to slosh the most? They're not even that full, and they are a number one slosher for me.
Yeah, they fit great in those 70 series tubs, though, don't they?
The 8 ounces, yeah.
And the bigger ones. Yeah.
Oh, the 16 ounces.
I think is that 16 ounces?
Yes.
That's
okay.
16. That's the 8 ounce.
I don't know.
When you put an 8 ounce in the FB. Do you use any FB? What is it?
Yeah, the 70 series. The Freedom.
No, the little ones that fit it. They're like V18 versions. They have a 8-ounce cup holder.
No,
we jerry-rigged our tubs.
Yeah, the problem with so we do animal plastics, which we like a lot. They look good. We haven't had any problems with them, but you have to buy these plastic shoe boxes from the Container Store, which is a website. And they're actually literally shoe boxes and boot boxes. and they don't have any sort of like a cup holder. That's the one thing I don't like about them. So we've got these like PVC couplers that hold these really, really well. But now you're washing two things. So that's why I'm trying to find something better. But for the bigger ones, the breeder tubs, we use the 70 series. The Freedom Breeder fits in there perfect.
Have you thought about switching your little tubs over to the Freedom Breeder versions that have like the 2-ounce cup holder and the 8-ounce cup holder, respectively?
Yeah, we'd have to change everything.
I know.
That sounds horrible.
And I think that might be the benefit and why everybody uses them is just the cup holders.
Yeah, well then they're not like pushing it around as much and throwing as much stuff in it. But they do have their own like set of problems. Like sometimes like the cocoa dust goes inside of the interior of the molding, and you're like, not to be crude, but like finger banging this like plastic molding, and you're trying to get the like, it's not, or like finger banging the corner between the like molding because it's really close to the edge, and you're like,
I can fit a little bit more.
I'm sorry.
Hey, we have a dishwasher now.
Oh my god, let's talk about that. I love it. Oh man, I saw the picture and I was like scanning and I was like,
oh, it's so nice.
Does it melt any class of normally used reptile plastic?
The only thing that I've had a problem with is these 3D printed perches, which are on the other side of that. So we got the Zinnias real small, and so they go in a shoe box or boot box. And we had these really cool 3D printed perches for them. They had little small, I guess, 1/4-inch PVC. It's probably bigger, maybe 1/2-inch PVC stands. And so those are kind of hard to clean because the way they're printed, they've got like grooves all over them. And when I put them in the dishwasher, they warp. They come out all twisted, so they don't do good there.
Okay, so don't dishwasher those. But all the other kinds of plastic so far have held up.
Yeah, you're gonna think that I prepped all this, but I'm actually just sitting right next to where our dishes are drying.
Like I've dishwashered, you know, the really clear jellies you take to shows, the really clear ones. That plastic melts in a dishwasher. I don't know if anybody's experienced. So I'm like, okay, those are hand wash only for me, but I can dishwash, I don't know, like cheap non-clear plastic delis that I use for water in my dishwasher and they don't melt. But you said yours break.
So there's two types. See, this one right here is really smooth. And this one has all these ridges at the top. The one with the ridges at the top does great. And it says dishwasher safe on the bottom. So I'm using these. They're doing all right.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. I'll show and tell. I'm good. I like to do that.
Do you put...
Visual aids.
You have animal plastics. Do you actually put like 6-quart tubs in there or just use it for water, dishes, and bowls?
We could put the smaller tubs in there, but right now we've just been using it for the water bowls and stuff because our massive sink fits all the tubs.
That is so nice. We had poop in our kitchen for the last 4 years. Like every day. We'd do all the dishes and then an hour later, here comes another one.
Jason's here. Emma, Andrew, Gerald. Like I know the hognose people will run FB5s through that. I just didn't know if they were like turning down the heat or something so that it didn't melt, or if it was strong enough to withstand whatever. A dishwasher is 150 degrees.
I mean, I've put our smaller shoe boxes, our smaller tubs in the dishwasher when we were doing it in the kitchen periodically just to speed up our washing process, and we've not had any issues.
Okay, that's good.
That we use for the babies.
Yeah, that's what.
Are those Iris?
I don't know what that means.
Iris brand.
Yeah, it does. Iris USA. Yep. Sure is. Yeah. Right out of the container store. They do fine, but they take up a lot of space, so it's easier to hand wash.
Are you? I know you didn't want to add new tub types, but that's like technically an unusually sized tub now because it's sort of tall for a baby ball python. It's almost better for a different kind of species, like a boa with like a little perch or something. But you're not ready to try different vibes.
Yeah, the Sanzini is the only other thing we're doing right now, and they do fine in it. But yeah, I don't know. The size seems good. We can fit, quite a few of them. I think roughly the same amount of space as you would in a freedom breeder or some other. Maybe we're short like a row because those are a little thinner, but nothing too noticeable.
But you're okay because you don't have 500 snakes.
That's right. We don't.
And when you have 80, you can survive a little bit of inefficiency.
Y'all are doing so good. Thank God.
Maybe when we reach that 500 mark, we'll figure out a new system.
We'll have to quit our jobs first. So give us like 15 years or something.
Right. So we did talk about it a little bit, but like, let's start with that. How is your current collection? Like, how many adult breeding things of that 80 are adults currently?
Like we probably have about 20, 25 females that are breed.
That's a lot.
Breed ready. And I want to say maybe about 15 males.
Yeah, we did that thing where you buy high and now we're trying to sell low. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Right,
we're all in the same boat though, so it's fine. Are you trying to get rid of like the females you bought in because you thought they were worth something 2 years ago, but they're really not worth enough to justify your time or space? Or are you just still trying to breed them once and see what you can get out of them and then sell them? How are you parsing that part out?
We've got 4 or 5, I guess, that we bought as pos hets that didn't prove out that we need to sell. We haven't listed yet. We'll probably take to a show and sell for $100, So, like we've bred a firefly that was supposed to be possibly het axanthic and het pied, but we were just kind of rolling the dice and saying, hey, the thing was like $150 or something. Let's see what happens. And nothing. So we actually had it genetic tested, so there's some extra money, and it's not.
Yep.
So are you selling them before you get a first clutch or after you get a first clutch? You can
so we actually have a clutch from her. She was gravid when we decided to go ahead and do the genetic testing. We're like, let's just see what we get. And so she gave us 8 babies.
Yeah, and we bred her to a male that was going to give us some good show stock anyway. He was banana, lesser,
and supposedly firefly.
So there's some pretty babies in there anyway, even though she didn't have a lot to offer.
That's good. I mean, you'll get your money back out of it at least.
Right.
Yeah, and they'll sell eventually.
Yeah, the only one that we haven't got our money back on is one who just never ate, which she didn't cost anything to keep either. Because she'll eat like once every 2 months, but she didn't eat much.
We
don't want to sell her because we don't want to do that to somebody.
Was she acid confusion or something else?
She's a super pastel het axanthic, so that's when we were just trying to put axanthics as much as we could. We bought a bunch of het females that we were going to put to our axanthic het pied male, or axanthic pied male. So we it didn't do as much good by her, but we're doing a lot of other axanthics. A lot of them are proving out great.
All right, good. Let's just talk about it. How do you feel about the new axanthic news that GCR and MJ are the same and Blacks and TSK are the same as a VPI family?
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm thinking that's probably most people agree that the axanthics are pretty similar. You get good examples and bad examples regardless of what line. So for me, the thing that made VPI most attractive is that there was just so much of it out there, right? And so you could instantly get combos that the people already started and start thinking about how you wanted to combine it, and you'd be a couple years ahead if you went VPI. But now, since some of these others turn out to be compatible, I think that makes the competition for VPI more attractive. But that's me looking at it from a VPI person. I'm thinking it's probably not good for VPI because now there's more combos that these others can instantly have access to.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know I'm depressed.
What are your thoughts on that?
So I bought a Bax head hypo female for $2,600 or something like that, adult. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna do something weird with her because she's Bax, which is weird. But now she's not weird. She's a TSA. So she's now worth $400 on a good day, $200 at a show in Oklahoma as an adult, right? So I'm like, okay, very cool. To me, it like completely devalued the weird ones. So MJ and Bax, because it's all the same anyway. And you're like, oh, so it's fine. I guess.
Yeah.
My problem now is like I bought Bax in addition to VPI because like Bax was different than VPI, like not just different genetically, but like it could be dark when it grows up. So like that makes it like unique. But now I literally can't run VPI and TSK. Like it's like too much of the same idea. And so I have to get rid of one. And I wanted to probably VPI because it's het albino, and that's a weaker het than het hypo to me. Yeah. Personal taste.
Snows are cool. We'll be doing the snow pied here probably like it's supposed to hatch today.
It's supposed to hit any day now.
Is it triple or double visual het to what's the percent chance here?
So it's so the male was a xanthic pied het albino, and I think pastel to a albino pied, the one that had no white on it at all, but it was pied. Beautiful. That's also had xanthic. So we have a pretty good chance of hitting a triple recessive on that one. Should probably get 2 out of that clutch.
Okay, good.
Although it's been all like snake, like it's really expensive. But
is it something you want for like to continue the project, or you're just trying to hit it just because it's like goal of those animals and you're going to move it on? Or
well, that would probably be the end goal for that project. I don't know what else you could do when you get an all white triple recessive. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
But I have seen where somebody else has done it before on a message board, and it was not all white. It had kind of a faint yellow to it. So I'm hoping we have like a faint yellow with white splotches, which would be kind of neat. And I don't think I don't know. I haven't seen that before. But no, the main reason we did that is just kind of a target of opportunity. So that female, we didn't know she was fully pied because we thought she was also leopard. I forgot to say. So we thought the leopard was messing with her and being albino. And then when all of her babies turned out pied, we took a second look and like, this thing is visual pied. So
that's cool.
Let's be good with that. Yeah.
All right, Andrew's here arguing. So I know they were both not that common, but GCR was way cheaper than MJ. Way cheaper. So like if the prices all rise up to MJ prices, then there's no net negative effect. But I can 100% promise the Bax prices have fallen to TSK prices online. Because there are way more TSKs than MJ GCRs combined. Yeah, I did see that. There was like where was it? It was on Facebook. Someone did a like double check GCR MJ separately just to confirm, because shed testing can be not always perfect. And they did get a full clutch of it. Where are you at on your shed testing journey? Are you testing less or more?
Part of it for before they could give you any results, just sending them everything we got so that they can build their database, that kind of stuff. So we're still kind of doing that. But we're definitely paying for tests now. If we have got something that's 50% het pied, especially like I've got these xanthic, het desert ghost, possible het pieds, I'm testing those. I want to know if they're double het pied. That adds a lot of value, especially for the females. You're talking there's between $500 and $1,500 for the males, and probably $1,500 and $3,000 for the females on those. So definitely paying for those.
Well, are people still buying? I don't know how to be polite about this, but are people still buying because they're not buying certain double het females, and they're not buying certain visual het males. You know what I mean? Like there's just not. They don't care. It doesn't matter if you have a clown het pied male. Nobody cares. It's a pet. It's a pet.
Our triple het males, we are not bothering to shed test those.
Okay.
Our possible triple hets, I should say, because that just isn't worth it. We're going to want it selling for $150 anyway at max. So maybe 50, like you're saying at a show.
So you're still being picky. Yeah. I've been Go ahead.
We just kind of do the cost benefit analysis. It pays off on some and not on others.
I just sent a bunch to Charlie, even though my husband didn't drop them off at the post office. What a freak. But there's been like, shed testing has had problems, but sometimes it's nice to be like, I'm not actually sure that that's in there. So let's just double check before I keep proceeding. Rant for another 2 years. Like I finally decided I don't think my banana calico yellow belly clown is yellow belly. Only took me 2 years.
Yeah, that one the firefly that we paired that we now need to get rid of because it doesn't have anything hit for it. The way we know that is because we shed tested it. Otherwise I might have thought that I hit the odds bad. And then I'd have a bunch of stuff that I felt like I needed to shed test. I don't have to shed test the babies as much if I know what the parents have, with some certainty. So definitely it's worth shed testing all those parents.
Yeah, I still want to make pairings that I don't have to shed test mostly because it costs money. It's not free.
Right. But
it is nice sometimes to get a little reassurance. You're like, I don't know. Like, why doesn't he have yellow belly in him? Like I thought he did too, but then like calicos are weird. They do like float up on the sides, and I'm like, maybe he's not yellow. Like I looked at 20 babies this year, and I'm like, none of these have yellow belly in them. So like, did I miss the odds, or did he not actually have yellow belly? So, oh well.
Well, at least they have a test for that. Some of the stuff I struggle with is basic that they don't even have a shed test for. But I got so many other genes in there, I just can't tell.
What's up with the lack of like fire disco?
Right.
That complex.
Fire, basic things like pastel. Do I have pastel or super pastel? I can't tell because I also have fire and lesser in this thing.
Right.
It's really ridiculous.
I guess it doesn't.
And banana.
So. Yes, Carissa. Hypothetically, it may not be pos yellow belly. I'm sending the test off now. I bred them to like that VPI and some pieds and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, none of these look like they have yellow belly in them. So they would just be not, and I've never sold anything as anything but pos yellow belly because I didn't know. It's hard to tell in like Mojave bananas. You can't tell if that has yellow belly in it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about this firefly lesser banana heteroxanthic male. I think it might not have fire because I didn't get a single super fire out of that clutch, which statistically I should have. And I didn't. So.
Yeah. I would love the fire complex. I think that's the easiest one to like overlook, and it's subtle. Besides like yellow belly complex, especially the really like weak ones like disco. My God, I don't think anybody knows what's disco. Half the world's disco, as far as I'm concerned at this point. Can we talk about Luigi?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I know, right? So this is kind of pre-breaking news, I guess. We're still trying to get
Wow, breaking news.
So if you watch some of the RGI videos where they go through the spreadsheet and show you how their desert goes, especially they've got the A, B, and C, and the C is pretty reliable. They highlight one snake specifically that doesn't seem to be matching their expectations, which is ours. We call him Haddix because he's pastel, heteroxanthic, desert ghost. That's it. So we know he's desert ghost. We can see it. We got pictures of him up, and they're looking at like, yeah, it's definitely desert ghost, but it's not Testis desert ghost. Testis hat desert ghost. So a little bit of digging, talking to, I hope I said her name right, but Milbrandt and Caponetto. Is that right? I think that's how you say it. Yeah. So they, that's where I had gotten him. I bought him as a baby, and a little bit of research back with where they got him, talking to Canova, some other folks that are working that project. It seems like the Mario project may have had another gene hidden in there that made it nice and super bright and is compatible with Desert Ghost. So I tossed out the idea of calling it Luigi because it came out of the Mario project. But so right now we're sending RGI 11 baby sheds from that male, which half should test Desert Ghost and half should test whatever else is this Luigi thing, and they should be able to find it. They said they've had a few others that came back as well that they thought should have been Desert Ghost that weren't since then. And so between them and what Caponetto or Milbrandt's seeing and what Canover's seeing, it's looking pretty good that we probably have another gene that's similar to Desert Ghost. But again, still to be proven. But that's at least I'll say that's my theory. and we're working on that.
Okay. And did they? I won't be spicy, but I'll be like, a little bit caliente. Did they like double check their work? Because they've also, there's been problems with stuff. Let's put it that way. Let's put it as vague as possible.
I think they double checked their work, and we also sent it to Charlie. Okay. And Charlie ended up getting the same results.
Okay, that's good.
This Het Desert Ghost as well. Yeah, I sent a second one of the same shed to him from the same male, and they came with the same results. So the work has been double checked that at least that Desert Ghost C is showing up as head on this animal for everybody to test it. But I think it's just another version of Desert Ghost that's floating around out there, as best I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly visual.
But if you go out to World of Ball Pythons and you look at the Super Mario and it's bright as heck, it looks Desert Ghost, And so what they're thinking is that Super Mario probably also was Luigi, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you remember Justin's video from 5 years ago or so?
On Super Mario?
On Mario?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, he tells this story on his YouTube channel. You should watch it. He's like, yeah, I saw a Super Mario and I was like, that's not a Super Mario, that's a DG. And I brought it to a DG and I got visuals. Yeah.
That was part of the story that I didn't hear it on the video, but just from conversation that helped us kind of think this is probably what's going on. And he said, and people said as they continue to breed him, Desert Ghost kind of keeps popping up. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the origin of Mario? Because I know Justin bought it in from somewhere else. Like, who founded it?
I didn't write down the guy's name. I do know, and it's the guy, if you look at World of Ball Pythons and just type in Super Mario and it shows a picture and who submitted it, it's got his name there. I can't remember off the top of my head. And I'm using my phone for our camera, so I've got stuck on researching behind the scenes.
There's just been a lot of stuff, if it comes out of certain lines now, there's like a chance it's Het Cryptic because it came from the bells. There's a chance it's Het DG because it came from the bells. A lot of the cypresses are Het Cryptic now, it turns out. And then you're like, oh, Mario's are all Het for special for Luigi. And then you're like,
yeah.
who else is Het for Luigi? I guess is the like which lines
if you
are
have Mario, I'd say there's a chance. The biggest problem with this is people who think that they've got Het Desert Ghost or tested it and they were told no, you don't have Het Desert Ghost. Might, or they might have Het Luigi, which is 6
right.
So it's something that don't get rid of all those yet until they figure this out.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about that potential conundrum? People could have been giving away snakes that were just other lines of the same gene that just weren't coming up on the test for wholesale fodder, and they thought they were relying on the test, and now they're like kind of confused about trusting the test, but you still kind of need the test because it makes you faster and more efficient, but you don't know. You think you should only use it if you know that the parent's version of that gene works?
I don't know. I think there's always a risk that there's some new gene floating around in your stuff that hasn't been discovered yet. And that's essentially what we're saying. I mean, the Desert Ghost, the DGC works. He's telling you if there's DGC or not. It's just that we found that there is something else that's compatible with that they weren't testing for. So I don't think it necessarily makes the tests less valuable, but you just have to always take with a grain of salt anything new like that. They've only been around like a year since we started really getting shed tests.
Wonka's Reptiles is apparently.
That sounds right. Yep.
I've never heard of them in my life.
But I have notes. I had a nice long conversation with Jake Milbrand about all this. He has all the background information. You should get him on. He can tell you all the details.
Okay. Yeah, it's been hard getting. It hasn't been hard getting viewers, but I feel like there's a summer doldrum in terms of podcasting too. People are busy or whatever with their family, not with slinging snakes necessarily, because summer shows are usually slow. And so it's been interesting.
It's tough. June specifically for us is tough. Between our 4 kids, I think we've got 9 summer camps or something like that this month.
That's so. I did 2 weeks of swim classes and I was over it. I was like, what is going on? I am not a caravan. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, it's been extremely busy, and we've got swim lessons for the youngest on top of all of that stuff.
I
But
know.
he
It's
only,
like,
I tell you the swim lessons on a weekend morning, so not during the week.
I don't know how
Some-
people do it. I only have one kid. I can't really take care of him as it is.
So
I'm
my
like-
daughter, the first week of June, she went on a youth trip with the church to go do some charity or like service hour type stuff. They were doing a lot of stuff in North Carolina, helping a poor community build ramps and stuff. And she came back the next day. She had to travel to North Carolina again for Camp Daniel Boone with the Scouts. And now she's back volunteering at the Cub Scout thing here in town. And next week she's going to Camp Maranatha. So she's just every week this month, she's like booked.
Man,
Today
how old
gets,
is she?
12. She'll be 13 next
Yeah,
month.
she'll be 13
Okay.
next month. And
That's
she
a
doesn't
good
have
age.
any plan for July. So
She'll be passed out in July.
Are the kids going to Daytona this year? Or are
No,
they?
we are not taking them with us now.
It's more fun just to Daytona.
Fuck you, kids.
Grandparents to the rescue.
That's awesome.
We're trying to decide if we're vending that one or not. We gotta. Is
We
it
gotta
worth
make a
it?
phone call.
With the stuff that we're probably going to sell is the cheaper stuff, I'm assuming, because that's
Mhm.
how the shows usually go for us. And is it worth giving up our time, hanging out and going to the beach during the day and stuff? I don't know. We have to decide that.
How many snakes do you think you need to vend a show like Daytona? I guess is my next. Or how many dollar amount of snakes? Or how are you parsing that in your head?
I would say if we're going to give up our weekend, what do you think?
I don't know.
At least I want to say like $1,500 because some of that we could just sell locally somewhere else. And most of the snakes that we can't sell online are $100 snakes. So,
Right.
Sell 15 snakes. I don't know.
It's very weird time. We were talking about this before, but like, there's a lot of the snakes that are moving are just like really cheap snakes to pet people, which is fine. We love that. Thank you for buying cheap snakes. And then the high-end snakes sell just fine because they're going to people who have like a goal. It's just like the middle of the market that's a little bit weird. And then you're like, well, where do I take this snake? Because I don't think those were selling at Dallas, brother. No, it was like still like happy little cheap pets even at Dallas. So like, is Daytona going to be that way this year? I don't know.
That middle of the road is so saturated because for every double, triple recessive, you got a bunch of heads, that came out with it.
So many heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people keep their double and triple recessives so they can breed more and not make a bunch of heads. So.
Right. We're due for something. A change in the way things have been going, I think, in some ways, because I don't know. I don't have an answer. How are your Alabama shows? Alabama, no offense, pretty poor as far as states go. So I'm assuming it's a very pet-centric market. What do you think about that analysis?
For sure. I mean, we had our best show ever, like a month ago, and we made how much we made?
Like $400, maybe.
This is why we sell online. Now, Jason and Whitney do a lot better in that market. We don't have a lot of $200 to $300 snakes. We mostly have $1,000 up, and then some of the hets that nobody else understands because they're buying a pet. So they're like, why would I pay $500 for that double het axanthic instead of the $100 for the axanthic that's over there? You're like, yeah, go buy theirs. You want theirs.
So you don't I don't know, dirty delete and bring stuff just because you're like, I just want a tub space, and it's actually whatever, 100% het axanthic, 50% het albino, pastel, male, but it's like $30 now. Thank you for buying it. You don't do that.
We had some listed real cheap, and they couldn't even sell for like $30 one time.
Yeah, there've been those.
It was rough.
Yeah, but you still do them? Do you just do once a year or twice?
We pretty much just do Huntsville, and it's more just because we're here and it's easy. And we like to talk about snakes. I mean, that's what we do. What I don't like is having to put all those things in quarantine for 2 months afterwards. That's not.
It's the worst. That's why I just keep a permanent show stock area now.
Yeah.
It's just you guys are sacrificial lambs. Bye. Like
It
I
is
moved.
all the way across the house from our sink, and we just have to run back and forth all the time.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to? So Huntsville, is that close enough that you don't need a hotel?
Yeah.
We're in Huntsville.
Yeah, we live
Okay.
in Huntsville.
Well,
The
that's
shows
fire.
that
That's good.
we do twice a year, and it's like 10 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Okay, of the new Southeast shows, the ARPE and the Southeast Reptile Expo Bob show, were you interested in either of those, or thinking about watching how they do and maybe getting in later?
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to jump on more shows. I think the stuff that's already doing really well for where we're at with stuff like double head. Yeah, if I get an axanthic, what I'm looking at selling at a show, if I can, is an axanthic double head pied desert ghost, right? So if there's not breeders showing up, then it's not really worth us traveling for. Otherwise we'll just do it here locally once in a while and talk to people here.
Yeah.
What about like for networking purposes?
It's good for that, but I feel like we can network just showing up with,
without any animals?
Yeah. Just go hang out. Yeah.
Oh, but you know what? That is something we're talking about doing too. This would be probably a good place to mention what we're doing with our little charities. So we've got the logo my daughter had developed that has on the back of our shirt. Some people
It's on your
probably
shirt
see.
right now.
Yeah, the one on your shirt right now.
Oh my God, I got it.
Feel the snake love, right?
Keep talking.
So our
Sorry.
Get people's attention. Good job.
I'm doing the Lord's work here.
Yeah. So we're gonna break that logo out, and we filed the paperwork now to start a 501c3 to do some
That's
charity
nice.
work. Yeah, in the ball python region of West Africa. So we've already been involved with them for like 8 or 9 years and doing different things there, primarily eye surgeries and stuff. But we're starting our own so that we can have a little bit more freedom with where that money goes and still claim it on taxes and still let other people donate and claim it on taxes. So we're calling it Snake Love Foundation. And so we'll be launching that here really soon. And what we want to do is if we go to shows, bring less snakes and talk more about the work in Africa.
Yeah, that's fire.
Then we still talk about snakes.
Right.
And not have to,
Well,
infect
I mean,
everybody.
hypothetically, I would hope show promoters would give you a free table, like a table. You pay for a table for snakes, you get a free table to talk about and like show off the merch. And that's just like a charity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna peer pressure all show promoters into doing that. So
yeah, I mean, everything's going well with getting that registry going. And we've made a lot of contacts when we went to Sierra Leone before, which is what we're talking about, as in Freetown of Sierra Leone. They, I could see us bringing back a lot of African stuff, jewelry and that sort of thing to give away for people who've donated and stuff. I could see it being a table.
yeah, that would be really. I think people are like really into that kind of art too, just in general. Like,
oh
yeah. I'm on like craft fair women. They're like so into it. And if they know it's going to a good cause, they'll spend a little extra. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, we've
We're
kind of
really
skipped over the sink on accident. We'll have to get back to that.
When we talk sinks, they all love you.
What do we say about the sink? Okay, I'll tell you where I got it. I found it on. Well, I knew I wanted one, and so I was looking for specific dimensions and found it on Facebook Marketplace for $600. And I was like, that's a little high, but it's exactly what I want because it fits the 70 series tub long ways. So it's huge. It's like 30 inches long or something.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly. It's short by like 1 inch, so I have to turn the tub sideways a little bit.
But it still fits in.
So it fits them this way, not this way? Okay.
Yep.
Which is probably overkill, but I tend to overdo things, which is probably why we go ahead.
So you have 3 holes though. Do you use one as like a sanitized the way like a chef kitchen would also use it? Or do you use them all as just like you get one kid in front of each bin and be like, clean? Use your tiny hands to clean.
No.
So
he put a disposal in it. And so we have one, rinse everything, and then we wash and we rinse, from the cleaning, and then it just goes to dry.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
Spray out all
that.
the nasty gunk so that it doesn't clog the drain.
Yeah, I thought about doing the sanitized thing. I know that's what you do in the kitchen. It's what we do with the scouts when we're out camping and stuff. But in our house, we just use Dawn and then rinse and then dry. So I couldn't figure out why that would be necessary. So we're just, the disposal made more sense. And so what we have is I have it all clearly labeled so that all the kids, anybody that comes over is helping us out. We're talking about hiring somebody. They, poop goes here, dry mulch goes there because we use it in the yard and sell it, that kind of thing. And then dispose or rinse to dispose of everything else. On it goes with the soap and rinse.
All right, everyone's getting hot over the sink talk. They're so in. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the reel. I mean, I'm so into reels.
Did the reel not show?
All right, give me a money shot of the reel. Can I see the reel?
I don't know how to do that. How do I?
Don't break anything.
All right.
All right, there we go. There we go. Right. So the reel's tapped into the water line. Is it tapped into like the cold line or like both, or do you set the temperature?
Grab stuff, so
all right, very good. Oh, that's a tower.
Clean tubs, which we do about twice a week because we clean everything. So yeah, the reel is literally a water hose, and the intent of that is to be able to pull it all the way over and fill water tubs or spray mulch or we want to do with it. Which I still need to have like a hook on our.
Okay, he's not hooked up yet.
No, it's hooked up.
Okay, don't blue ball me with this reel. I need it to work. Ah!
Go ahead, Vanna. Show us what else we got.
So we've got a regular faucet too.
Yeah, I do like having those because then you can like squirt sometimes or just gush or whatever,
Yeah, it's got so much more pressure than our kitchen sink does for getting the gunk out of the tubs. It's fantastic.
So do you have like sink envy for your regular human sink? Sometimes I think about that. I'm like, my sink sucks.
No, my regular kitchen sink is great.
It's fine. Okay.
But this is definitely what was needed for the tubs.
We don't wash dishes this size in a regular sink.
Yeah, I just sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like I might as well just we should just give up living and just live in a snake world, right? Like all their stuff's better than my stuff anyway. That's maybe what I'm saying. And then the dishwasher's right there. You just do little reusable cups so far.
Yeah. It's just a regular dishwasher. I like the Samsung that opens by itself so they don't like rot in there if we don't get back to them for like 3 days.
Yep.
Is this in a bonus room? I forget the layout of your house, which is weird, but like.
So it used to be my son's bedroom and
the kids out.
And the guest bedroom. So we kicked a kid out and paired them together so they now share a room.
Yeah.
And then we knocked a hole in this wall to merge the guest bedroom with this room. And so there's actually still a guest bed. You can't see it, but there's a guest bed in there.
It's a Murphy bed.
With the incubator.
The Murphy bed is the way to go in the snake room. And plus, if your guest room is a snake room, you only have people come see you who really want to come see you. Or like,
all right, I have a spicy question. What if you have to, or if you move, are you going to take all that out? Or are you going to turn it into a grandma suite? Like, what's the?
Yeah, I kind of designed it in. Yeah, I thought about that for resale. The sink itself, we can remove easy enough. That big opening right there between the doors are pocket doors, so they can be closed and covered up if somebody wanted to. I think it could be turned back into 2 bedrooms really easy.
Yeah.
Would you have to like nerf any closets to get floor space, or are they still all there?
No, there's a closet gone where the sink is now. That used to be a closet, a walk-in closet for the son. But we built. So my daughter is in what used to be the office that didn't have a closet. So we built a giant wardrobe that we could move in here, and it could cover the door even, and so it'd really feel like a bedroom again.
Yeah, it's massive.
Okay, so I'm into changing my whole lifestyle to accommodate living things, but other people might be like, I want an outbuilding and have all this stuff outside. What was your thought process versus like outbuilding or doing the bonus room with the sink?
What are your thoughts?
Well, so I wouldn't mind having an outbuilding, but our backyard is kind of small and we use it, the kids play in it. So I didn't really want to take up space for the kids to play.
She wants a pool back there.
And that was my next thing. I want to have a pool in the backyard. And so we can't have both. So
we're on a 1/4 acre lot. I mean, it's right in the middle of suburbia.
Okay.
But beyond that, it's really nice to have them close by. We loved having them in the living room if it wasn't carpet and so far away from where I had to put a sink. I thought about putting the sink in the living room. We almost did that. we were like that close before I realized this would be able to do that.
If it wasn't a living room, it could be converted into a bar, hypothetically, if you had to move out. You're like, this is a bar. That's why I have water lines here. Like, you know what I mean? Like a wet bar?
Yeah.
So we thought about that too. So, we do the Sanzinias, the Madagascar tree boas, and they breed really funny. I know most boas have to brumate a little bit or whatever to get cold before they breed. The Sanzinias actually breed in the cold. You have to keep them at like 55 degrees for 4 months. And most people build a shed outside. They put them out there and they warm it up. But in Alabama, I can't trust that it'll be 55 degrees for 4 months. They're going to get warm. So I was planning to actually build like what would be a wine cellar if we resold it. That would cold down to 55 degrees. We ultimately decided just to buy some like reach-in wine coolers that I'm going to try to convert to cages and then turn on for 4 months out of the year. That's my goal for those.
You could have a wine cellar attached outside to the pool. It's like an all-in cement installation.
I think then you'd have to go outside to go take care of them, and that would just be.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's really nice to just have them right here. Not have to go out and get rained on or whatever. Go out in the 90 degrees Alabama heat to deal with it.
I know, but one day you're gonna have 500 snakes, and you're gonna be like, I need a shed anyway, and then you're gonna be all in.
So hopefully by the time we get to 500, some of the kids are gonna be moved out.
Hell yeah!
We can get to about 250, I think, maybe 300 in this room, and between the two rooms, it'll be fine. And
Still continuing with animal plastics, or do you think you would need to switch tub type or something?
I like the animal plastics. If I can just find a water bowl that won't tip over that I can wash in the dishwasher, I'll be happy with them. That's the challenge right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've got space to expand right now still without buying additional racks. So,
well, how many clutches of ball pythons do you think is the maximum you want? Because you could have 250, but that's still a lot of snakes.
Yeah.
Ball pythons. So what's the you think going to be the sweet spot?
I'm thinking 20 clutches a year is good.
Yeah, so this year we were shooting for 18, and I think we're only going to hit like 8 or 9. But we have several females that are still building, so who knows?
And you're still doing all frozen thawed mostly? Or are you breeding your own rodents yet? Or
no, that will not happen.
No.
We'll buy frozen thawed as long as we can avoid it. My thought process on that is if I'm paying a little more, that's okay. I'll just breed a few more snakes to pay for it. But we do some live where we have to, especially like the new ones you have to, right? When you first hatch a ball python, the first 3 males have to be. So Jason, Whitney take good care of us. We get them from Beauty and the Balls. What else? Yeah, and then the ones that just don't want to eat, then we'll get them.
Yeah, we do have a few stubborn ones that just go on the hunger strike for months and months and months and refuse everything.
Do you go get live for them?
We get them from Jason and Whitney.
Okay, just for the stubborn ones.
Just for the stubborn ones and for the hatchlings until we transition them over.
Yeah, man. Sometimes like the good ones are stubborn, and I'm like, whatever. I'll do a little spoonful of you Gerbers. I'll give you whatever it takes.
Yeah, we've got one Tanzania that won't take a frozen thawed. So I mean, I think it took a couple of frozen thawed chicks, but it's
he used to eat some frozen thawed chicks, and now he stopped eating those, and he's back on live rats again. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's killing me.
Yeah, it's.
But I mean, at least he eats.
Yeah, that's what I'm into. All right, I'm glad Jason is a team player. 10 out of 10.
right.
I keep meaning to I'll message them next maybe. I want to ask them about plants. Like, how do plants sell in Alabama? I want to know.
Whitney is a plant genius. Like, she will sell out of plants sometimes at the shows.
Yeah.
And a few times she's actually made more money than Jason selling the plants, and Jason sells the snakes. So
yeah, they can
it's interesting.
They can tell you about this North Carolina show that's coming up. The new one that I can't remember the name of.
Oh, the ARP. Yeah.
We're still hoping they call us.
Oh, that's one you do want to get into?
Well, my parents are in Charlotte, so that'd be good.
Oh, yeah, you should get into it. It's fire. I did the Denver version, and it was fire.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah, because it was very, I don't know, fair or whatever. It was like snake person, bug person, plant person. like oddities, like dead things and art. Snake, plant. And I was like, great. Like there's a market for everybody here. Everyone's happy. They love plants. And some of them want to buy a snake. And so it was like it was one of my favorite shows in many ways. Like ambiance. It's like a jungle. You're like, wow. And then you like hide again. I don't know. It was so good. I love it.
They'll do great there. I think my failure is whenever I apply for these shows, I keep forgetting we have the Senzinnias. We haven't bred them yet. You know? But maybe I could use them anyway to get into the shows. Like, I'm going to bring Senzinnias. I'm going to bring 4 of them. People can look at them, but they can't have them.
Yeah. I mean, it could be partially a show-off show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing you could do is be like, I'll whatever, social media promote it or something. Like, I think that they're taking that into consideration also.
Yeah, we need to spend more time on social media. Last year we really sloughed off because we had 1 clutch. It was really disappointing. The whole last year we had 1 clutch. It was painful.
Yeah, it's probably
so I spent my time building a sneaker.
This year is much better.
Right, you have more clutches, and you were shooting for 20-ish. How many do you think you have on the ground, or they've already ovulated? So like they're like done deals so far.
So done deals right now. We're at 7.
7 that have
7 that have either already laid or are fixing to lay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have probably 2 or 3 more that are very close to ovulating.
I think it's more than that because we got 5 on the ground and 2 in the incubator. So.
Well, I'm counting the ones that are in the incubator as already laid.
Yeah, so we have more coming for sure. We got a couple that have ovulated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then this is for me the time of year where I'm buying snakes to breed this fall, like male wise, because I'm like gonna quarantine them for 3 months. What is Roger and Lori trying to buy right now that they're like, I need that, or I need to fuss with this project?
Eastern Tanzanias. I've got Westerns, and I want the Easterns.
Okay. No ball pythons?
Not right now. We have every gene we need. I've got a het patternless female ball python, and we're gonna do I forget what you call it, but we got a friend who's got a het patternless male, so we're gonna
try to bring it back. That's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna send it back to us. I think patternless could do a lot of good stuff. You know, you put orange stream in there, some banana, you make all kinds of really cool colors. There'll be no pattern, but they'd be bright and pretty. I think we can do it.
I think they will have super fans, but I don't know if they'll ever like take over.
Take off. Yeah.
You know?
Well, they wash out a lot of different patterns that people are excited about. So I understand.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to get into it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Have you been like, I don't know, trolling the morph market auctions or whatever, looking for deals, sweet deals?
Not really. The only thing
All right,
that I
that's
look for is more combinations that we already have, but a few years ahead, you know, because
trying to speed projects up.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of started with like one visual, one hit, right? That like all of our snakes were like one visual, one hit, one visual, one hit. So, but now you can almost get one visual double hit at least.
Yeah. It's been weird. I'm like, like I need to buy now technically to like catch myself back up because the stuff I bought in 21 is just becoming an adult now, but it's lame because I could buy the same thing for 30 cents. And I'm like, whoops. So I feel a lot of tension there.
Yeah. So the problem is if you keep chasing that, you'll just be in the same place 2 years from now.
It's like the same project, same animal, just better and bigger than mine. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And for $500, and I bought mine for $2,000. So I'm like, technically, I should at least be dollar cost averaging into the same project better, and then get rid of whatever ones are the least genetically powerful. But I'm just like, I don't have the money to buy them.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So the patternless female, the het patternless female, I think I spent $2,500 on her or something like that, and there was a full-on visual for less than that. That was not long.
That's what I'm saying. And then you're like, I feel
cool.
Bad. Like it's not even a different project. It's just a strict upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and she's one that has been a very picky eater lately too. So we've had to start giving her live so that she could plump up and get ready for breeding.
Yeah. I have that problem also. I don't know. Like I'm looking at those animals and being like, okay, bye a lot of the time. Because I'm like, I might as well buy in something that eats and breeds, and maybe it's even already bred 2 times for $500 instead of waiting 6 more years for her to figure out how to eat.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I have some female ball pythons. We need to get with the program.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's painful.
Yeah, and for no reason too, because their brothers and sisters or whatever are fine,
They're
but they're
awesome.
just wieners.
That's why I like the Tanzanias. Get out of the morph chasing game.
Yeah. Is there any other species besides Tanzanias that you want to think about adding?
I've been thinking hard about the egg-eating snakes. I think those are pretty cool snakes, and they seem to have good temperament and everything. And I could just see it at shows where people are like, "Oh, I like that snake, but I just can't deal with rats." Well, let me show you this one. You know?
Yeah. I think that their biggest problem is that you'd have to have your buyer source extremely small eggs in the beginning, or you independently grow them up until they're on at least like button quail eggs, which is probably the easiest small
Yeah,
egg
finch
to
eggs are
find.
going to be hard to get, I think.
Yeah. So a lot of people like just keep whatever, bunch of finches for fun just to feed them, and they get them past the finch egg size and then they sell them.
So you just have to make a couple of the right friends. That's doable. Facebook is great for finding those niche markets. You know, I joined
Zebra
a finch
egg.
Yeah, I joined a finch breeder group, and there were people who had no idea that there was a market for their eggs.
Oh, you're like, hey, can you it's like a weird drug deal. Like I need all your zebra finch eggs right away, and then you like put them in your pocket.
I was just kind of feeling it out before I bought the egg eaters, but I was able to find a few people who are interested in the idea. So.
They're very cool. I think that's the biggest problem is like even if you're good at sourcing it, you may not be able to provide enough finch eggs to all of your buyers, and so they'll struggle. We almost need like a finch egg specialist breeder who's intentionally breeding finches just to have eggs for snakes.
That's
it's a very specific person.
If you're the guy who's willing to take a house full of finches and breed egg eaters, that's the way to go. I'm not that guy.
Yeah. Eileen said she heard you can feed them cracked up eggs and they will slurp the yolk. I know some of them will, but I think the African ones don't. They want to break them. What do you think about that? Have you heard that?
Yeah, that's my understanding. I hadn't heard that they would eat one that was already cracked. I've heard that they would like the smell of it if you put some yolk on there somehow. But the way they eat it, I'm afraid they would have a hard time getting it down if it was already cracked. Because they got to get it like pretty far down before their muscles can contract and break it anyway. But I don't know. I'm not.
I don't know either. But they would be cool. There's lots of cool little weird snakes in the world that I think are worth people's attention, but it's like hard because then they're all running on different bunny trails, and so we don't have like a consensus of like, hey, this is like a cool pet snake, everyone should go buy 10, but then everybody's doing their own thing separately. What about other arboreals?
Now, none of them that I've seen are really that nice. Other than that one in Australia, that I think it's just a common tree snake that they can have blue versions of that are gorgeous, but you just can't export them.
Oh. I mean, like arboreals, just snakes in general. Because you have Sansania. Do you want like basins or emeralds?
Not for me. I like stuff that's handleable, and it doesn't seem like most of those are very handleable.
Okay. What about Amazon tree boas? They're handleable with some nips, a little bit of nips.
Yeah. I don't know. The Madagascar ones are as docile as our ball pythons. They're great.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Little stuff that can be good pets for kids and stuff. You know, that's what gets us excited.
Okay. All right, good. Are you doing anything so you don't know if you're vending Daytona? When are you going to know by? Isn't it coming up?
We need to call him. He sent us a note and said, "Hey, call us and let's talk." So we need to do that. That's on
Call Wayne on the phone.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So he sent a note and said, "Yeah, I sent him a note, asked him if he had space available, and he said, "Yeah, give me a call and we'll talk about it." But the next day, I was on my way out of town to North Carolina mountains where I had no cell service with the scouts, and so it just didn't happen yet. So I've been back for a couple of days. I need to give him a call.
So you didn't book last year for the next year right away?
No, we didn't vend last year. We just went and hung out.
Oh, you just went and partied.
Yeah,
okay.
we just went and partied.
We just drank a lot.
Well, that could be fun too. That's fine.
It was. And it's hard not to do that again.
Are you visiting like Dallas or Tinley or whatever coming into the fall season?
Not this year, I don't think.
We've been to several NARBC shows over the year, but I started a new job not that long ago. And I had so little leave. It's hard to do some of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, we may have to miss some of that this year, but we're definitely doing Daytona, even if we're just hanging out, because we like it.
Yeah.
And it's not too bad of a drive for you, right?
Everything's 12 hours from here. It doesn't matter.
It's all a wash.
It's all. We're going to Tinley, Texas, Daytona, and we're right in the middle of it. We need a show in Huntsville. That's what needs to happen.
Right in the middle. Yeah. The VBC Center would be perfect location.
We have a great venue. It's cheap. So somebody, I don't remember what show I was listening to. Maybe it was Chris's show. They were talking about like where the perfect venue would be, like downtown, walking distance to the bars. You know, walk into the hotel and all that kind of stuff. It'd be perfect right here in Huntsville. We've got the spot. We got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Do you think it needs a beach? Do you think that the greatest reptile show ever needs a beach? Well, that's my next question.
You're asking the wrong people because we're going to say yes.
Because I've been thinking of like what could be a Daytona alternative. I feel like it needs a beach if it's going to compete with Daytona.
If it's going to compete with Daytona, it has to have a beach. So.
Yeah, but there's beaches in Alabama. You just got to go.
Not the same.
I know, but it's like, you know,
they would be
great value brand beach.
I don't know that those areas would
sustain that many people.
Yeah, I don't think it would be the same.
Well, the distance from here to South Alabama where the beaches are is about 6 hours too. So we're not close.
But you got beaches.
Yeah,
there's beaches.
So,
and most things are legal there, and they aren't really legal in. So it's hard to import stuff to Florida. It's hard to import stuff into Louisiana.
Yeah.
Texas is fine, but it has a big show. So Georgia, corn state's illegal. That state's dead to me. I hate it. So then like you end up going up the Carolinas, but now you have the ARPE. So like if it's going to be Alabama, it's got beach.
Yeah, Alabama doesn't have a big show. I think it's perfect.
No beach here. Huntsville's where you want to be. The rest of Alabama, as you said, is kind of poor. So Huntsville's the rocket city. We've got so much engineers and quite frankly.
Oh, that's cool. We love engineers. They got money.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we got huge FBI centers and army and
NASA. I mean, come on.
That's why I wanted the North Carolina show to be in Durham, like out in Raleigh, because that's like, you know, it's like the tech corridor of North Carolina, and it's in Charlottesville, which is like the, no offense, redneck part of. I'm from West Virginia. I know. I'm just telling you.
We just got to start fundraising, and we should do it. We should put something together in Huntsville. I think it'll be fun, even without a beach.
Eileen's trying to trick you into getting into Dominican red mountain boas. How do you feel about them?
Say that again?
Eileen's trying to trick you into getting into Dominican red mountain boas.
I'll have to look at that. I don't know much about that one.
They're red. Sometimes they're sparkly and red.
So the thing that really gets me excited is the blue snakes, but red's unique.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into blue. You're talking to the right person here. Okay. For sure.
Well, aside from the blue, you know, I might as well be black and white.
It's true. It's true. I've got like the weirdest, like my, I have like a mental problem. I like blue snakes, but it ends up translating to liking like pale gray snakes in the end, like in other species where they don't really have blue. So I was like looking at true ghost ball pythons, just been like, fuck it, I'll just true ghost everything. I just give up. I give up on desert ghost because it's yellow, whatever. And I'll just true ghost everything. Is that a flaw? Like a personality flaw?
I don't think it's a flaw.
I sometimes I'm not sure. And then I was looking at hognose, and I'm like, I just like Toxics. And I'm like, that's the same problem. Because it's like another like pale gray snake. It's so boring. People are so bored when they look at me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
But you can't ask me if it's a flaw because I like black and white snakes and patternless.
So you like more contrast, though. I just think like the palest, limp, flaccid little snake is the best kind. Jason says, Wayne just wanted to make sure you were only going to bring reptiles. I guess he didn't want you to bring plants or dry goods.
I need to call him.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Very good. You're in. You're in.
We're going to let us spend our charity, though. It'll be up and running by then.
Maybe he'll be okay with that, though.
Let's find out.
Okay. Oh, Seattle. What do you think about a Seattle big show?
That is really far away from
That-
everybody.
We can't do that one.
What if you
Sorry.
flew in
Yeah,
and
We'd have to fly in our pets too. That'd be a
yeah, and had clam chowder or whatever they do in
Yeah.
Seattle. Salmon
I
chowder.
like Seattle. I've been to Seattle, but that is a trip for us.
It's very cool place. It is far for most of the country because it's in the distal end.
Yeah.
But they're starting a new big, like reptile show in the Northeast. It's called Rexpo. Have you heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's in Rochester, New York. Who lives there? Nobody.
with snakes nonetheless.
Yeah, I have no idea. But they're like doing it. They're like trying to make it a really big show. And I'm like, okay, like every region probably should have a big show. So that's not like NRBC level, but like a big show that everyone's excited about that gets the community together for that couple of state region. Like show me shows are great for what they do, but they're not an event, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
They're not an event.
We're not an event.
We get to
No.
meet a lot of people who like reptiles, which is nice. You know, just so much.
That's where all the pet people.
Oh, it's toys and junk mammals that you can't bring, but plants are okay. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, hopefully they still have space for us since we've been accidentally ghosting them for the last week or so.
Mm-hmm. So we're doing Daytona. No ambitions to do some of the other big shows and doing the local Alabama shows and mostly focusing on online sales. Have you ever what is your strategy for online sales this year? Because online is still confusing me too.
I'm holding on to too much is my problem. So
Okay.
we went through it today and took pictures of the last 3 clutches that I hadn't bothered posting on Morph Market yet. And I just don't want to get rid of most of them. Some of them I want to shed test, and others are just like triple hets that aren't going to sell online anyway. So we're going to wind up.
So you're just holding them for the show.
Yeah, you'll have to do a show. But I don't want to travel to Tinley and sell $50 snakes. That doesn't make sense.
Oh no. Yeah, I just meant so for me, because a lot of my snakes are not expensive, they just aren't because their species isn't expensive. I just had to do more shows further away to hit different markets.
Yeah.
And that's not fun really, but it's the way it's got to be because the online side of it is sort of dried up.
And maybe I'm jaded, jaded's wrong, but maybe my impression's wrong just based on Huntsville and all of our pet keepers. But I feel like hets in general aren't things that you would want to bring to a show. They seem like more like an online thing for a breeder, or else you're not going to get the value of the head out of it. So I really need everything or most of it visual.
Yeah. I just feel like you can't sell hets online either.
That's a big challenge.
And I'm just like, because it's supposed to be for a baby breeder. You're right. And you're like, well, it's visual this, het that, one coat on. Nobody wants it. I'm like, how many months do I have to keep it? So I end up having to delete all the hets and sell it as a pet anyway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we haven't gotten down to that point yet. I think.
All right, you'll have 500 snakes by next year. So
yeah,
awesome.
Probably if we don't let go of them.
We just doubled our rack space. Why would we sell anything?
That's true. But there's always like a Faustian bargain there. Because I'm always like, if I can breed it, I should keep it because it's mine and it's clean. It doesn't have diseases and it's fine. And that's true. Those ones breed the best and are the happiest. But then you're like, accidentally, you have made your collection very samey doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no. I have a bunch of the exact same thing because I was like, oh, I'll keep it and breed it, and I will get my money back out of the food. But then, like, I still need to sell it now as an adult, and then just to make my collection look different each year enough. Does that make sense?
I think we should all just sell dry goods, and that would be fine.
Hell yeah, or plants.
And plants.
I'm very impressed by how plants did at the last show I did. I was like, you guys are killing it.
Yeah.
Bless your business's heart.
I think Jason and Whitney do really good. They seem to be at a show every other week.
Do they go further away? I mean, I'll have them on.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go.
You'll have to have them on next week. That's
Good. I will. He's got a nice beard too. I'm very. There's a lot of beards. We need a trend line of beard.
Oh yeah, his puts me to shame.
Yeah. No, I mean there's a beard for every occasion. You know, there's sport mode and party mode, so it's fine.
That's right.
My husband still has a mustache, and might be the end of me is this mustache.
I had a goatee for like 15 years. I couldn't grow
15 years. Lori, how did you put up with it?
Anyway.
Like it pokes you too much. You're like, I can't make out under these conditions.
I can grow the best neck beard though, if Lori would let me. It'd be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, that has no problem at all.
Okay.
She's just not into it. I don't know why.
Jason says they try to do 1 or 2 a month.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
We don't have the capacity to do that with everything else we got going. So
yeah, it's definitely for me this year, this life, this season of my life. I'm like, okay, it's okay to have different business models, and you can make money doing things different ways. But some species and price points have to be sold a certain way now. And that's fine. You just have to accommodate that. And maybe like plants do so good at shows, it's worth doing because then you like accidentally get rid of the byproduct ball pythons while doing it. So that's all of these are fine. But like people don't necessarily know that their business has to be flexible in that way yet. Or maybe they're figuring it out, I guess. Ooh, yikes.
And my goal in life would be to do primarily online sales. And then, we do the shows just at schools or scouting events or whatever. So then it was so great. So just, what was it, Monday? Monday we did, we went to the Boy Scout. So my girls, my oldest 2 girls are in what used to be Boy Scouts is now Scouting America, right? And so we went and volunteered at a Cub Scout event, which is the younger ones. And they all got to come up and see the snakes. There was like 120 cubs there. And it was awesome because, I had the hand sanitizer there. I asked them to use it, but I really didn't care because I wasn't fighting.
No, the snakes there. It doesn't matter.
It's just us. So you just had regular kid germs.
It was great.
Yeah.
So much less stress in the show.
Right. That part is fire. And that's why I'm like, maybe people should do like, I don't know how to do it, like pop-up shops at craft fairs, but then that's weird too because maybe people aren't ready to see a snake and then they're like scared or whatever. But I'm like, if you did that and you were the only person with banana ball pythons there, you would sell out instantaneously if it was like the right kind of happy family vibe because you would just destroy them. They have never seen such a cute face before in their life.
It's kind of like the random craft people that show up at the reptile.
Yeah, we would devastate them with cuteness. They don't even know it's coming.
That's right.
So we did really well with online sales. Last year was where we had one clutch, but before that, when we had some cheaper stuff, Lori would just post a little video of her holding it, and put that on Facebook, and it would sell locally. So I think we're gonna start doing more of that here soon to get rid of some. I say get rid of that. To sell some of the pretty but less expensive things.
Yeah.
Like advertise on Facebook, but not say how much it costs or anything like that, because those are against that wonderful Facebook rule of selling animals.
Well, yeah, do it, please. It really depends on like how close. So I didn't understand this, but like the way where I live now, I'm 2 hours away from like a major metro area. So, but my town only has 20,000 people in it, and then 2 hours away. So I can't get like the incidental soccer mom, who's like browsing Facebook and wants to pick up for a kid. I'm outside of that area now. So I do Facebook ads, but I usually like, I'm going to this show. I will have this pretty snake. Come see me there, and no pricing, but you know what I mean? Something more like that. But if you have it, I would take advantage of like a reasonable sized metro area.
Huntsville's big.
It's big.
Huntsville's the biggest city in Alabama. Now, the metro area is not as big as some of the other metro areas, but Huntsville itself is pretty big.
Do you know how many million people you have?
No, I think it's like 600K or something like that.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's expanding still. So.
All right, good. How many tornadoes do you have? Be
So
honest.
you were talking about the wine cellar, being a
Tornado cellar.
So if we hadn't already had a tornado shelter, I think we would have built a combination tornado shelter wine cellar. Like,
How cold does your
Sanzania
tornado
breeding.
shelter get?
Well,
Well, it's in our garage.
yeah, it's
so.
it's not big enough to do much with. It's like 6x4.
You could put a couple Sanzania in there. What are you talking about? That sounds awesome. That's where I put all my colubrids during wintertime, is in my tornado shelter. I'm like, bye. See y'all later. You got a light? Not anymore. Deep.
Oh yeah, we could just put them in the garage or something too.
Yeah, I just wish my tornado shelter was colder. Like it was deeper under the garage, if that makes any sense. So like I just have to wait until like January and do it January to whatever. I pull them up into February normally now. And that's cold enough. It's like 60 to 50s sometimes. It's not very cold though, but
I don't trust our garage for long enough for a Sanzania. But plus, we like to be able to see them. You know, the reach-in wine fridge with the glass doors. I'll be able to see it and put branches and make it all pretty, and just turn on the AC when it's time.
So you're turning the whole thing into an enclosure.
Yeah.
Inside. Do you think you're gonna have like some temperature variation?
Yeah, that's what I'm still working on. I think the one that we've got is like 5.5 foot tall. What I might do is turn that into 2 because it has already a divider in the middle. And because they also have to have like a 72-ish degree basking spot while it's cold. So I'll have something where it can travel in and out. So I got to figure that out. Make sure the compressor's strong enough to handle that idea. But I haven't started building it yet, but I did finally find a wine cooler that'll work. We picked it up for like $150 on Facebook Marketplace. And the thing works. I'm excited.
What if you like just forced them in the wine cooler like at night?
Yeah, I'm
just
like
physically took them out of their cage, like bye, sorry, punishment time, close the door, take them out in the morning, and then be like, this is your chance to warm up at room temp, and then you repeat.
I don't know. I think giving them the option to travel back and forth as needed is probably better. I know a lot of people have had trouble breeding Sanzinias before, so you can't be too cavalier with it. You know, try to replicate what they're doing in their sheds as much as possible, at least to start. And then we can, maybe tweak it a little here and there. But, I want to try to give them the option.
All right, Jason says it's 225,000 people.
Is that all?
Damn.
He's
sorry,
right,
Alabama.
That's way smaller than I thought, if that's right. I don't know what that 600 number is. That must be more than metro.
It could be like a couple of counties smushed together.
You're probably counting in the surrounding area.
Oh, all right. Well, 225,000. Enough we can find somebody who wants a snake, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, like OKC is 1.7 million, but I think it includes Norman, like the next city down in the metro area, and Shawnee. But like, it's 2.5 hours away. Nobody's going to come buy a banana from me. So I have to go to them. These are just the fun facts of life. Do you know Bill Hughes?
Yes. Yep. I've got one of the. Let's see, was it from Bill?
Yes.
Well,
you have one from Bill.
Yeah, I think one of our Sanzinias came from Bill, and actually his videos were the ones that turned us on to it. I saw him holding something that looked to me like a green ball python. I'm like, what is that?
They have the lips.
Yeah.
They have the puppy lips.
Sanzinias are more fun to hold than a ball python.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll just wrap around your arm and hold onto you like a tree for support. And ball pythons just kind of sit there. So we like the ball pythons too, but the Sanzinias are more fun to hold.
Yeah,
if they weren't CITES 1, they'd be the perfect pet. Everybody would have one, I think.
And if they bred.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
AJ Serpents, do you know him? He just had a litter this year. Something. He's in the Discord.
I saw some of the pictures. So the Sanzinia, again, the niche groups on Facebook are the way to go to find these folks. That's how we found ours, is looking at the Sanzinia group.
All right. I hope you have all the success in the world and you don't nerf any in your little freezer contraption.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I would think.
I don't want them hiding out in the shed.
How close is Alabama to Madagascar, temperature-wise? Also, outside.
I don't know. Thought about that.
Temperature-wise, I don't have a clue.
Like if you did it during the fall, like your fall was their winter, sort of, and then you brought them in during the winter.
I've just seen so many posts about people's litters not making it that I don't know. I'm nervous to try natural temperatures on them. You know, even just because the variation is so much.
Okay.
You know, even in January we can have 80-degree days sometimes. Alabama's nuts.
Yeah. That's why people are like, yeah, my hog nose needs a hard freeze. I'm like, not them Texas, Oklahoma hog nose. They probably wake up all the time, all winter long, because we'll have the same thing where it's like, guess it's the tropics again. Middle of whatever. 800K in Madison County and the surrounding counties. So altogether, that's still a good amount of people. I'm into that, you know?
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I mean, that's within an hour. Hour and a half. I would say is what he's talking about there.
Yeah, I think sometimes though reptile shows don't do good, even though the metro area should support it technically. Like it has 1 million, and I'm like, why? Why does it not do good? But then little weird rinky-dink ones will do really good, and the city only has 200,000. I have no idea. I think it's just like the receptivity of the market to that. Sometimes, like the amount of families, amount of kids. I don't know. And disposable income also helps a lot.
There's only a handful of actual snake breeders here in Huntsville, though. So if we're selling in Huntsville, we're selling pets. There's
about corn snakes. How many corn snakes do you want to breed? You're in cornhole territory.
I don't want corn snakes.
We talked about it. You've got some pretty stuff.
I know they're fun.
You had me right on the line a couple times where I almost was like, okay, send me Mike Drop's baby there.
I know, they're so pretty.
They're gorgeous.
They're really pretty, but they're super fast and squirmy.
Yeah, that was the problem when we were looking for a snake originally for our daughter, which she got us started. And we went to the PetSmart like all first-time snake owners do, right? Mm-hmm. And so she held a corn snake. That thing was so fast and squirmy, it jumped out of her hand. We had to chase it. It was horrible.
You just got to keep playing with them, though. It's like anything. Yeah. I have a whole bunch of ball pythons that were just born that are mean. I'm like, what DNA did you get? And so, like, I can't sell any of these dumb bananas right now until I like make them nice. So it's the same difference. Like if you get a bad batch of ball pythons,
sure.
Sometimes you get like
ball python. I thought it was chase. Everybody talks about is it cottonmouth? They say it'll chase you, or so it felt like it was chasing me because it was biting at me, and it would make it like as it pushed so hard, as it tried to bite at me, it scooted its whole body across the table, and so it came like 4 feet and then fell off the table. I was like, "Holy cow!"
Trying to get to him.
Yeah, I
was standing on the other side, right? I wasn't even near it.
Yeah, so, usually if they're more tepid, I know people are like aggressive ones are good eaters. I don't think so. They're so busy being mad at me, they don't want to take frozen thawed because they're too busy being mad at me. I'd rather have them be like in between personality wise, but I know they're like a bunch of little shits. If they're biting me as I'm popping them to like first put them in the tub, like they're biting the back of my hand, I'm like, what are you, a king snake? Get in the tub. That was that whole Krypton clutch, the Ultramel double head. I don't know if I posted pictures of it. I forget. They're all little shits, little, I don't know, carpet munchers. They're the worst. I have never seen the worst ball pythons of all times. I'm so sorry.
Have you held a Tanzania yet?
I know, but at least they're like worth money. So then someone will like not mind that once it's a little shit. You know what I'm saying?
They're not shits.
Yeah, I'm gonna put one in your hands one day. They're awesome.
Okay. They're not shits. That's good. Most aren't little shits either. Just this batch. I was like, what is wrong with you guys? What DNA ruined you?
We get a couple of those every now and then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can make them nice by just desensitize them to human contact. Yeah.
That's right.
That's what I tell people. Just hold it a few minutes, a couple times a week. Within a month, it's your friend. It doesn't take long.
Yeah, and they like coming out because it's something to do. So it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's so funny that it's like like the corn snakes are wiggly, but they are wiggly as a percentage as like little shitty ball pythons are mean. So it's like the same difference. And then you're like, okay, but they grow up to be fine. So it's like it's all kosher in the end.
Yeah. Although I don't think you can just sit down and watch a movie while holding your corn snake.
You can when they get older.
You can?
Like
Okay.
you sometimes they'll sit on your like ears and they'll be in your shirt just the same way as you would whatever.
Okay.
You just don't forget that they're on your person because it will slink off. It's like they do the thing where they do 15 minutes of running and then they get tired and they'll just like sit somewhere.
Rest.
And so that's when you watch the movie. But people will be like, I'm going to run and watch a movie right while they're in their like running movement phase. Mistake. It's gone. All right. We have 5 minutes. Final thoughts, clutch updates, stuff people should look out for this summer.
Yes, we'll have hopefully some visual Desert Coast Xanthics hatching here at the end of
July. Yeah, July.
So we'll just do 1 or 2. I don't know if we'll be able to sell them because we'll hold on to them so we don't make it much more heads.
Right.
But and then it'll be fun to see what that snow pine looks like. That triple recessive snow pine.
Snow pine should be coming up out of the eggs any day now.
Yeah.
Any day.
Posting pictures on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also Instagram, Great Family Snakes, Facebook. We have it set up for post on both when we post one.
Yeah. Have you done a YouTube video in a while recently?
We don't do the.
We've averaged like one a year, so it's time to do another one. But I do have a good clip of my son opening his first clutch of snakes.
So, yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, I'll put that on there. But we don't do much. It's usually just family stuff as we figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, I have so many ball python clutches. They're not that interesting to me. So I'm like, I think what I want to do is like clump types together. Like here's not all, but like 6 clutches of Krypton combos. So you can see the different gene variation. Is that more interesting? I don't even know anymore. Like clutch cutting videos are not interesting to me at all anymore. Like I don't want to watch them. I cut my own. I don't care. I don't want to see 2 inches of your snake either. It's real boring to me. But I like feel pictures or whatever.
Yeah, that's my show too. Because I know when I was first getting into it, like the first couple of years, I was just absorbing as much content as I could. All of the clutch kit videos, all of the podcast. I want all of it, right? And then you get to a point where you hit like that saturation point where you just can't absorb anymore, and you're just like, eh. But then I don't really want to produce that either because I've seen 12 of those. But for somebody new, maybe they haven't.
Yeah, I just want people to like, if they're gonna do a cutting, at least add the reveal, like post shed reveal at the end to see like if your ID was right or wrong in the egg. Because a lot of times they'll save that for a separate video, and I'm like, no, I skipped the cutting part. I don't care what you do when you cut. It's not that exciting to me. Yeah. So I was just thinking about combining them all together. Like, here's all of the cool clowns that are holdbacks that I hit this year or whatever. Like, and so like combining them by morph. So there's like, it's like a themed video. Is that cooler? I have no idea. No idea.
I think it's cool to do it by morph. I think that would teach us. I always like to try to find how to tell the difference in different combinations. And that means you're watching like 15 different videos, I want to see what mahogany looks like in pie. I want to see what it looks like in GHL. I want to see what it looks like in 15 other things. Why are you going to find 15 videos where somebody's doing that? Or sometimes you can find a morph market, but sometimes you can.
Yeah, I guess it does like require you to like hold more animals and then like do it all at once. Like if I did... Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to, I think the key to the video is telling people how you know what you're looking at,
Yeah.
Do I know what I'm looking at? I know it's a JHI because look at this pattern in this.
Right. Right. I do like that, like stacked incremental videos. Like here's a GHI, here's a GHI Mojave, here's a GHI Mojave Pie, a GHI Mojave Clown, whatever. And then you can see like the variation. I think that's much more helpful. It's just much harder to pull off because like you need to have all that inventory sitting around, not being sold, hypothetically. But since all of my females are synced up like a volleyball team, I have like 20 clutches all coming out of the incubator at the same time. So it's fine, I guess.
Well, you could do like a better version of the Chris Hardwick videos where you go find pictures of them, but explain how
nobody can laugh that awkwardly. I don't have those skills.
You can do it.
Somebody was also doing it kind of recently, like a year ago, like literally just repeating what he did, like with online. And I was like, I don't know. It's too soon, bro. Too soon. But maybe now. I do need to do more standalone videos. I was thinking about squishing Hare Farms channel and deleting it and just rebranding this channel. What do you think of that? Is that sacrilege?
Yeah. How many followers do you have that you would lose?
On that one, it's just 200 because I don't ever post anything because I'm busy doing crap over here. And then I'm like,
okay.
I was like, why do I bother making content 6 times a year for over there when I could just put it over here and just be like, this is like the section? I don't know. What do you think about that? Is that crazy?
I don't think that makes some sense. But yeah, Hare Farms behind you, so you definitely advertise it here. But
Hell yeah, buy some snakes.
Well, if you deleted it and rebranded, what would you rebrand as?
Well, the podcast could still be named what it is, but like the channel would be Hare Farm. And then it would just have whatever, corn snake videos. Nobody cares about those. That would be its own like thing. And then the podcast, it has its own like, I don't know, playlist or whatever. And it's just all on one channel instead of having it on 2 separate channels. Is that weird? Yeah. I just feel like nobody goes over there, and I don't even go over there either. So, like, why does it exist?
I can see us doing that, right? We're going down the way of having the Snake Love Foundation website. I was working on getting all that together. And I can see one day Gray Family Snakes was this thing that we used to talk about.
Yeah, it's not even that weird. But there's like a marketing problem with anything. Because, like, everyone's like, Jessica from Holdback Rec. I'm like, my business is technically more important than the podcast. You know, people know me more about this, but like, I'd rather have you say the business name because that's where I make money. Right? But so there's like a branding problem there. So if you do the foundation, do you want to be known for the snake sales or the foundation more? You have to sort of decide.
Yeah. As long as people, I think people are going to find our snakes on Morph Market. You know, so as long as if somebody's looking for it and they see our name, and they're like, hey, I can trust that, then I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if anybody's on Morph Market buying snakes.
Yeah, but it'll come back. I have hope.
Not from us right now.
Not from. That's not true. I did an okay spring, but it's like the summer doldrum, so I'm expecting not very many inquiries, which is fine. All right, you guys got to go pick up your human. I think
we do. They're at Cub Scout camp.
All right. Thank you for coming on. I appreciated a checkup. I need to like catch the other 2 sponsors also who haven't had a show this year. Also, but we'll do a post Daytona. Hopefully you vend and sell out. Tell me about it. I want to know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't.
You know, if we do over $400, it'll be our best sell.
The table's $350 or something though. So
I'm so sorry. I don't know. I have to like send condolences.
It's an online business. You know, that's the thing.
I know, but there's nothing worse than going to a show and just being like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, but it's okay. It's still fun to talk to people and look at the other tables, watch the other tables sell their animals.
Is that fun? I feel like you're lying.
You just sit there and continue to count how many we still have.
Yeah, it's fun to
That's not fun. Why are you lying?
It's fun to go Jason and Whitney and see all their bells and beautiful snakes go in for a couple $100 a pop, and we're sitting here with our $1,000 double het, triple het. You know, like, well, this is fun.
I know you're doing great-ish. I don't know. Don't lie to yourself too much. Lie to yourself the right amount. The percentage that keeps you happy, I guess.
We have good pet-worthy snakes right now, though. So
okay, so you're gonna be ready. Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah.
Ready, Freddie. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming to this chat. We did it. We talked about many things. I don't know if we learned anything, but we're leaving. So I'll see y'all later.
Bye.